I look at the second bounce. I want the second bounce to be right there on the edge of the fairway and the fringe line. So as you're going to see, I'm going to zoom in here. I'm really going to be looking at that second bounce. And then we're going to use that right to left tailwind to carry that ball to the hole. So you see my blue ring is just barely cutting it into the edge of the rough, and there you see I just move it a little bit there, and now it's right there cutting just barely into the edge of the rough. So we make our adjustment, about 4.5 rings here. You want to hit perfect. Do keep in mind, great left shots on this hole could be bad. If you hit the left edge of this green, the ball will roll off the green and down into the rough. Came really close there for that ace. I think it's a really good chance to dial in that shot. Alright, so for hole number 2, this is kind of a tricky hole, and you can play it different ways. You can play a shot where you use your long iron and you bounce it up to the green. If I was to play the shot that way, I would play the shot a little bit farther back, maybe back in this section right here somewhere. You're going to find a nice flatter spot to bounce that shot up towards the hole. I'm going to be playing it a bit differently. I'm going to be playing a sniper shot with backspin. And it may be a shot that changes throughout the week. If I see something better, I may definitely change. But for now, this is the way that I'm going to play this hole. So it's a plus 20% min adjustment. We're playing 5 backspin on this shot. And we're just going to try to aim our shot to the right side of the hole. Now, you're actually going to see me play this shot twice and then my opponent play it once, because my opponent actually adds a left spin component into the shot, which I felt was kind of interesting. So plus 20% min is the adjustment right here for this shot. You could also play this shot with a power, like a wind resistance ball, to cut down on the wind some. What's up, Joel, Terry? How's it going, guys? Arthur, what's up? And you see we come into the left here, so we didn't offset our shot enough to the right. Distance-wise, we were pretty good right there with the shot, but offsetting-wise, we were. I play plus 10% off the tee box. Now you can play this one to the left side, or you can play this one to the right side. In this example here, I'm playing it to the right side. We're going with 3.5 top spin, max right spin. We get the edge of the red line along the rough. And we're going to make this adjustment. You could also play the quarterback here, Thor. But I think trying to get farther down the fairway is definitely good on this hole. It's going to set you up in a better position for your second shot. So for that reason, that's why I went with the extra mile. So 345 yards for that shot. For our second shot, we'll be playing plus 10%. And there's our min and our max. So we're going to be playing our shot less than 50%. So I think we played this one at 40% for our club distance. Our club percentage was 40% club. So you find your mid number, and then you're just going to kind of try to guesstimate a ring adjustment a little bit below the mid number for 40%. We make our adjustment here, plus 10%. We hit great to the right, unfortunately. We get a nice bounce and roll, and I do believe perfect would have been in the hole. Last night in Expert, I played plus 20 min. 1 backspin. Okay, hole number 8 here. A lot of people are playing this shot to the left with like an over power shot. To me, I would rather play the more conservative approach to the right-hand side, and I feel like it still offers you a really good chance at the eagle. Max topspin, 1 right spin, red ring touching the rough. plus 10% elevation. This one should be grade proof left and right because of the use of the quarterback here. Just another hole where you want to keep track of your distances. We end up at 364 here. And for our second shot here, we have a Hornet rough bump. So we're going to play the second shot at plus 10%. We're trying to figure out our distance here. And we're going to play this one at about 75% club. So this would be in between mid and max. I think we end up with about 4 top spin here when it's all said and done. Now we're just going to move our shot up the rough line and get that nice straight ball guide into the hole. Plus 10% elevation. Square it up, hit it perfect. And we hit it dead center of the cup. So that right there tells me my 75% was correct. That was definitely 75% club. And now from there I can start building a shot chart for other distances. My shot here with the quarterback, you're going to see quarterback 9. So we're going to play 4 top spin, 2 left spin. If you have a quarterback 10, you can use the full top spin on it. You just won't play the overpower. So what I did right there is I'm pushing into overpower about 6 or so rings just to see where my ball guide will end up. I adjust for the wind, I turn my screen straight, and then I push back up. I'm going to use just a little bit of overpower because when I pushed up, I did see the end of my ball guide still had a little bit of room to go before it reached the end of the fairway. And you do want to try to get as close up to the end of the fairway as possible. So like I said, if you have a quarterback 10, we have a little bit extra top spin. So playing that shot without OP would probably be perfect. For the second shot here, we'll play minus 10% for the elevation change here with the big dog. You could also use the cataclysm if you have a cataclysm. For this shot, I like 1 top spin, max right spin. You're going to line up your shot here. You want to land the shot center of that pad. So push up to figure out where you want your shot to end up, and then you turn your screen and straighten it out. You can also just kind of eyeball this shot if you want. Big dog measurements are kind of small as far as the amount of rings you use, so you definitely could just eyeball that shot if you wanted to. I use about a quarter ball of curl on that shot just to kind of help but get that ball up to the green. It's a possible albatross chance there, but it definitely would be more of a lucky type albatross if you're able to hit it to the hole. Alright, hole number 3 here. I'm playing a power hook here with the APOC 5. You can use a 4, 5, 6. You're definitely going to want to use a berserker ball here though. If you don't want to play it this way, then let's see. If you don't want to play the power hook, then in my opinion your best bet is to lay your tee shot up here. And you can do that either with a driver with really good accuracy like the quarterback, or you could use your APOC, Thor. You can really use any of your drivers for the shot. You really just want to lay your shot up here to the front edge of this fairway. The farther up you lay, the better, because your next shot is going to be a shot taken with your wood, and you're going to be playing off this little pad. You're going to play about 4 to the right and 1 topspin on that shot. So that's, in my opinion, a little bit more difficult of a shot. I really like this power hook shot with the APOC. I think it's very accurate and consistent. So we're going to go watch that now. And actually you can watch 2 versions of this. The first time I take this shot, I go with 1.5 side spin to the left. And as you'll see here, this time here I start with my white ring touching the edge of the rough on that right fairway. 20 rings is the adjustment. So I want you to pay attention to where my far right ring on this drive and then the next time I play it. What's up, Jay? How's it going? Welcome, sir. Now it comes in here, it bounces a little bit far to the back and right, and as you see, we came pretty close to that rough edge, but we're still okay. So 446 yards, pretty good right there. It sets up a Goliath shot from this position. And you're just going to find your distance here. So I'm going to be playing this shot at about 75% club. I do play a minus 10% on this shot. Although I'm not 100% sure it is minus 10%. Since we're, a little bit farther up the fairway, it may be a little bit more closer to, minus 5 or 0%. I'm not 100% sure. But we can watch where my ball lands and kind of get a little bit of an idea whether the minus 10% was correct. It looked like it landed at a pretty accurate spot. I would probably say the minus 10% was pretty close. So we came in, and you really want to start paying attention to your bounces on these types of shots, because then you can kind of start dialing in the shot a little bit better. What's up, Adam? How's it going? Jesse Huntley, what's up? Alright, so this is my second shot. Now, if you remember, the first time I played this shot, I went with 1.5 left. I go with 2 this time. And one other thing differently that I do is, as you can see, I start my white line at that edge instead of this edge. What that's going to do, that's going to bring my landing spot a little bit farther up to the left, and it's going to actually help my end result, as you're going to be able to see. Everything else I play the same. Oh, no, I guess I did stay the same. Alright, never mind. I thought I played it a little bit differently, but I played it the same exact to the T. But with the APOC 6, a little bit more distance is what's actually going to help me in the end here. So with the APOC 5, I would definitely be very careful on your adjustment as far as your aim point. That's not possible, but we're going to do our best. Plus 20%, 2.5 backspin for this shot. We're going to be bouncing it just in front of the rough here, with the blue edge of our line just right there on the edge of the rough. We're going to play just about 1 square offset, 1/2 square offset left of the hole. So 6.5 is our adjustment here, which is max plus 20. Perfect hit. Let's see how this one comes in. We do play 1/2 square to the left of an adjustment. And one came in just a tad bit short. We did land just a little bit. 3 backspin. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the red ring and use that as a reference point at the top of this rough edge right there. Ball guide to the right edge of the hole. So right there along that right side of that dark green square is the right edge. 8.6 at 15% is 10.1 rings for our adjustment. So as you see, my red ring is right there on the edge of the rough line. Now we're going to adjust 10.1 rings. There was 5, and then 5.1 more. Hit this one perfect. That second bounce needs to be about midway in that fringe, a little bit frontwards. So it came in a little bit hotter than I would like for it to, but still, we got the end result that we were looking for, and the ace. Extra mile in our Thorn or Hornet to drop this eagle. We're going to play this one with a Titan ball. Top spin, right spin. We have a right to left headwind, so we need to put a little bit more juice behind this shot than it appears, just because of that compressed ball guide. Something I do not do on this drive, but I'm trying to instruct you all to do so you don't make the same mistake I made. So we adjust for our wind here and overpower, you see. And now, I'm going to put some curl on the shot. I needed to put about 25% overpower on that shot, I think. Because I didn't, you're going to see my ball actually hit in the rough and roll out. Is that an issue? It's not really an issue. We're still going to be in thorn range, but instead of being mid-thorn or even maybe min-thorn with a really good drive, now we're sitting at about 75% thorn, so a little bit farther up than we would like. So we are going to drop this shot back a little bit here to more of a mid spot. We're aiming the right edge, and we're playing this one at 10%, but I really believe 15% would have worked better here and would have dropped it if we had played 15%. Because you see, we do hit perfect here. And we are going to roll right on that left edge. If we had gone that 5% extra of an adjustment, that would have dropped. Play this shot. 10.9 wind, so that means we have 8.6 rings, so we have a 28.6 ring adjustment here. Full top, full right. We're going to set up our shot to land. We want it to land about midway into that little neck area, so I used the right edge for my landing spot, and I went 20, and now I'm going the extra 8.6 rings right there. Full right curl, full right slice, fingers crossed. As you see, we come in right there, almost exactly where we were wanting to land that shot, hit the rough, kick out, roll onto the green. Perfect shot, and that sets up a very easy eagle putt. APOC 4, 5, and 6 can take that shot. It's very important that you do play the full ring adjustment there for that shot. It's the 20 rings plus then the wind. So it depends on how much easier you want this hole to be. If you break out higher level power ball, the hole gets a little bit easier. It gives you a little bit more room for error. I'm playing it with a Titan ball. It's plenty of room. Max top spin, no side spins. We have our red ring here, right there close to the edge of the rough line, just cutting it right there. We're going to make our adjustment for the wind. We're going to straighten out our line and then push back up. It's a very slight right to left tailwind, but it's enough to make a difference on a drive like this where you have to really shoot a very narrow spot in the fairway. We bounce through, up the fairway, nice shot. Our second shot, we're going to be playing minus 10%. You either can play a Goliath rough bump or a sniper rough bump. Here you see we're going to be in sniper rough bump distance. Need to get a little bit farther up the fairway for that Goliath. So it's a very tough shot here. I would play this with, replaying this shot, I would be playing this with, max backspin, or 3 backspin, and left spin. As you see here, it's very tough to get a good angle on this hole. You're going to really need to offset your ball guide a good 2 squares in front of the hole to have a chance at this. The best example that I could say to watch would be my expert quality. This shot right here, hole number 6. I put in a fireworks ball here just to be safe. This was my first time playing these holes whatsoever. I didn't play any practice, on Tour 10 at all. So I just wasn't 100% sure. But I see after playing this hole, the power 4 ball really is not needed. But it definitely isn't bad. It's helpful. Now, what we're going to do here, we lined our shot up, we adjusted for the wind, and now tell me, I want y'all to look at this right here, and now I want you to tell me what mistake I make at the end of this shot. What mistake did I make? Did anybody catch that mistake? Hansen had it, didn't push up straight. Little things like that can definitely mess you up. It didn't mess me up bad, but it was just here. I played this one. I want to say I played this shot at minus 5%. You're in sniper range. The bounce out of this rough here is pretty tricky. I still have not figured out. I still have not figured out the shot yet, as far as the bump out of this rough, because you got to play. It's a slope, so you got to play the slope. So you got to offset your shot with the ball guide in front of the hole. We hit great left, so we're not going to get a really accurate look at what it could have been, because it comes in farther to the left and it kind of swims around the hole. But it looked like it still came with a little bit too much speed, so I might need to take a little bit of that. Alright, so we're going to go with full top spin, full left spin here for this shot. As much left spin as we can put in there. The shot we're looking for is like right there. As you can see, I'm having to fully overpower that. 2.7 rings is where we're going to go back to. So we're going to go back to about right there. So we will have to overpower this somewhat, and I'm going to put a little bit of left curl on it. Let me hit that one perfect. That one should be good. The only thing I may not have done is put enough left curl on it. And it's gonna eke back out there into the fairway. So yeah, if I did have something else to do here, sir. And let's see what we have here. 5.7 wind. There's our max. There's our min. So this is about mid right here. I'm going to play this right here as my mid. And I'm not going to play... I am going to play a little bit of backspin here. So we're going to go 2 backspin. And now we're going to play right at 2.1 rings. Be good. See how this one comes in. Just barely missed that one off to the right hand side, but happy with that result. Would have been nice to drop it. Yep, close. And make your ball. This is going to be a very tough hole, and one of those holes that the shot off the tee just is a very difficult shot. Definitely, I would say is a high difficulty level shot to cleanly get. Full top spin and left spin is what we're going to play with here. We're going to aim the left edge of our clear ring there towards the left rough line for our initial setup. And now we're going to adjust for the wind. 8.4 with plus 10 is about 6.6 rings. And as you're going to see, we can't barely even get to that 6.6. So this is a completely full overpower shot. You want to curl with your ball line going through that left triangle. And this is a very difficult shot to hit. We are going to hit and roll out through here. And, that's honestly not a terrible result for on this hole. So if you're able to get your shot to roll out and not hit the rough, then you'll definitely be doing good. For your second shot, play this one with a thorn or a hornet. You just want to try to find that good landing spot. Playing the shot off the fairway is probably your best bet here. And I'm about in between mid and max here for this shot. I'm going to be playing this with the thorn and without any spin whatsoever. So you just want to aim this shot more towards the right edge of the cup, and then we're going to adjust for our rings and try to hit a perfect shot here. About 3.5 for our adjustment here. No elevation change, just aim it at the right edge with no spin. We got a nice bounce there and the roll, and you see us come in and complete 360 and out the back edge. So a par 3 This one right here is definitely a really good chance at the ace. Play this one. I played with a navigator ball and a sniper. Played 1-1 for the adjustment. And we'll play with one top spin for this shot. And basically we're just looking for that orange ring to just barely cut into the fringe in front of the green. Look for that nice right to left roll from the right ridge into the cup. So as you can see, orange ring cutting into the green. Now, I've got that played a little bit farther into the green than I normally would, but it works either way. You just got to make sure you have that good ball guide into the hole. So we played 1-1. We got the bounce right there. The only thing I don't like about that is, the fact that it bounces so close to the green. So definitely forward par 3 that I think a lot of people should get the ace on. Playing it with the sniper and kingmaker, we play a 1-1 adjustment for this one. So if you have 6.8 miles per hour wind, we play 6.8 rings adjustment. And we play 1.5 bars of topspin on this shot. And we're going to use the blue ring of the shot target right there around the edge of the rough line. So you're going to see my setup here. Once again, 1.5 topspin, 1-1 adjustment, kingmaker, sniper. No need for elevation because we're playing 1-1. So we'll play 11.5 rings of adjustment here on this one. Pretty high, pretty large adjustment. 1.5 topspin. We want to line up this ball guide trailing into the right edge of the hole. You're going to see my blue line right there up along the edge of that rough line and the fringe. Right side of my ball guide into the right edge of the hole. So there's 6 rings right there. And 2.8. So 8.8 rings was my adjustment for that shot. There's the bounce right there, and you see that nice roll in the funnel, and boom. There's our second ace. Extra mile, and big dog, and berserker ball. We're going to try to get over the to the second fairway. If you do have a higher level extra mile, don't go full topspin, you will roll through. So just go with a little bit less. So we'll go 4.5 bars of topspin. No, 5 topspin. We'll go 5 topspin. Just for wind. Push back up to max. And then we're going to go full overpower with a little bit of left curl. And that should get us over to the next level, and shouldn't roll us into the rough. Whew. I would back 1 more bar of backspin off that. So that was 5 topspin. I would go 4 topspin. That's just too close for my comfort. But full topspin with that EM8 definitely would have been in. Do keep in mind, the lower you go, extra mile wise, you do lose some yardage. So if you are going with extra mile 6 or 7, 5 topspin would be fine. But if you're going with the extra mile 8, I definitely dial that back to 4 topspin, no doubt. So yeah, it definitely depends on what club you are using, whether or not you need to worry or not about that shot. So for the next shot is going to be the big dog. And this one should be interesting. It's going to be a shot that requires a lot of curl and some backspin. We'll play a plus 10% elevation change for the shot. See what kind of a wind we have. 7.9 tailwind. So we're going to go full right spin and 2 backspin on this shot. And we're just trying to eyeball 5 rings up here. We're going to go with the blue ring cutting the right there on the edge. Full curl. And just a tiny bit of overpower. Should be good. Let's see where it ends up. Oh, that's perfect. That's getting a hole. Ooh, that is so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Alright, so that's like the absolute perfect way to play that hole right there, and I'm so happy that I was able to record it for you all. Hopefully you all can copy that and get the same exact results. So it was the blue ring along the edge of the rough, 2 backspin, full right spin, and I did go a little bit of overpower, but I think even if I did not overpower that shot, it would have made it there. So y'all, good luck. Hopefully y'all can replicate that and get yourself a putt and eagle here on this hole. You can either lay up short with your accuracy club like a quarterback or the rock, and then play like a power curl shot with your big dog or cataclysm, or you can try to go with a berserker ball and fly to the second fairway. We're going to try the shot to the second fairway. If you are able to get this shot dialed in, it does leave you a much better chance for your second shot to get onto the green with a big dog curl. So we adjust for our wind here. We're going to use full overpower, and we hit perfect. So let's see how this one ends up. Play this one with a plus 10% for your elevation change as well. We hit, we roll up, nice positioning. This shot's definitely going to be much easier with an APOC 6. With an APOC 5, it's definitely a little bit riskier. So if you do have a little bit lower level of club and not an APOC 6, I may think about suggesting the layup shot for this hole. Okay, 10.7 wind here. We are playing, we're just kind of eyeballing a landing spot for this shot. You do see I go with full right spin and 1 bar of top spin. 1 bar of top spin. When I outstretch my shot, I have the clear right ring on the edge of the rough. Full curl and a little bit of overpower. Hit it perfect. Now we went with a little bit of topspin. As you're going to see, my ball does roll quite well under this green. A little bit of backspin would have definitely been better for this shot. So if next time I play the shot, I will play that with a little bit backspin. And I also will change the location of my landing spot. Instead of the clear right edge on the rough line, I will go with the right white edge on the rough line. Give myself a little bit extra space for that landing zone. But can't complain too much. We got a putt for the eagle. We'll take it. There's the eagle. Boom. Hey y'all, thank you for watching this Pro Expert refresh for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day tournament. These were just holes taken from past playthroughs and different rounds with the commentary used at that time. I'm sorry I did not have a chance to add commentary on top of it for the current tournament. I did try to fill in some elevation changes that I saw that were different and needed to be played differently. But hopefully it serves the purpose of kind of helping refresh you of these holes and kind of giving you a little bit of a head start on getting ready for the tournament, because you can't practice these holes for the Pro or the Expert this time. So I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. If you have questions, definitely please comment in the comment section and I will help you out as much as I can. And y'all have a great day, have a great weekend, good luck, and see you all on Monday.